We're just gonna go live here for just a little bit. We got to jump ship here in just a few minutes and head on over to the equine masterclass. Tonight is our monthly Zoom, so pretty excited about that. I haven't touched base with the crew since December sometime. So tonight, what I wanted to talk about was mentorship, since that's kind of on the docket today. Is going on that Zoom with my equine masterclass members. And, over the years, I've kind of been in and out of mentorship myself. And, I think that there is some value to, trying to figure a few things out on your own. Like if you've had some lessons and stuff, I feel like there is a lot of value in like taking the time to study without somebody leaning over the top of you all the time. But then I feel like there's a huge value in having periods of time where where you do have somebody like either over your shoulder or that you can touch base with and do different things, like just to kind of keep things going, give you ideas, give you some motivation, let you understand that um, there's more people out here than just you working on things. So that's tonight, the equine masterclass, and I've been surprised, we just opened it last year, and I never know how my programs are going to go once they go live. Like I feel like they're good ideas. I think it'd be a great thing for me to have, and until it goes out to the people, you just never really know how it's going to be taken and things like that. And the biggest thing for me is the results. And there's different results here. The results are on different levels. Okay. One of the levels is people are actually making progress, which for an online forum, you just never know. Some people, they don't learn well online. A lot of people do for various reasons. One, it can be a refresher from a clinic. One, it can be an introduction prior to a clinic. You can just kind of get a visual and some language. Two, it can help you plan out. Three, it can give you some things like you've never seen. You're like, wow, that's a great idea. And whether you're really good at it or not, it's now something like a feather in your hat, a tool in your belt, and then you can follow up on it. And what I think really helps this out is a couple more things is the community. Everybody in that group super, super supportive. And then the other thing that I think really, really helps is these Zoom calls. And every month we get on and we hang out with everybody and they can field me questions. The other thing that we also do, which is kind of like the Zoom, but a little different, is it's called the Rotha Review. And the Rotha Review gives them a chance to like, hey, I'm going to send you a video of either my greatness or my bad day, and I review it, and then I get back to him. Maybe I get back to him with another video clip. Maybe I do a voiceover, just different thing. Maybe I just write out a message. It kind of depends on the student, what kind of language they have and understanding that they have and stuff. But it's been a super, super useful tool. And then on top of all of that, there's just hundreds of videos in there. But what's cool about the videos is a lot of them are in a pathway. So it's like, well, if they want to do certain things, like say start a colt or start a liberty horse or fix a problem horse or start working on body control or start up a nice groundwork program or advance their groundwork or their riding program. There's pathways for all of those things. So you can be like, okay, I want to start this horse in some good groundwork. So it's like follow that pathway. I want to start this horse that's got good groundwork and he's been riding okay, but I want to get him riding better. So there's a pathway. So it's pretty cool. And I wish I had all that stuff when I was getting started. I had mentors, but they didn't have pathways. They're just like, how's that working for you? I'm like, it sucks. And they're like, good. Well, you'll remember that. Don't do it like that. It's like, not, there's value to that for sure. But it's not like I was going home and reviewing videos at night. And for the people that take advantage of it, it certainly is a great program. But like I said, you get out of it what you put into it. And what I've noticed, and we're going to see him here tonight in just a little bit, about a half hour, I'm going to be seeing him. Um, some of those students really put a lot into it. And the other thing I see is they kind of motivate each other. They're like, hey, you know what? like Lacey's getting out there, so I'm gonna go get out there also. Karen's getting out there, so I'm gonna get going. And maybe somebody's struggling and they're like, well, I've struggled. You should just hang in there, and everything will be all right. You know. Cool. So I'm just going this guy for a few minutes here tonight. So just checking in on a few things, a little bit of turnaround. We're kind of just walking them, working on some softening here with him tonight and stuff. And that's the other part as far as mentorship. The horses. You've got to be spending time with your horses and learning from them. It's like, there's some mindsets. It's like, you got to fix the horse and he's got this problem and that problem. And to some extent, there is something to that. But at the end of the day, your horse is trying to help you too. Maybe he's not like, I'm going to teach him this, but the experiences that you learn from them. And, one of the things that makes this program so good is the fact that I've worked with so many thousands of horses, and there isn't one horse that's the same. You can certainly kind of, put some of them in a little box. Like this horse fits a kind of a group of horses over here, the different things. And then this other horse fits this kind of group and things like that. Um, but everyone's super unique. And so you got to work a lot of horses. And whether it's a lot of horses or not, you got to be spending time with your horse and just building on those experiences. And I can really tell the people that spend that extra time when I see them the next time, eh, whether they think they've grown or not, I can tell if they have. And if they've been spending time with their horse, they certainly have grown. It's for sure. And maybe we catch up to them in a little bit of a dip there or something. I help them out, or maybe they're actually doing really good. And I was like, hey, do you want to be doing even better? Like, let's grab the next gear here for you and your horse and kind of get these things going. So, any rate, that my point tonight is like mentorship is huge, and well, even if it's just studying, like online or riding with some friends or neighbors or whatever you got going. I just know though at the end of the day, the more organized the program is, the better things are going to be. Like if they do kind of have a pathway or some regularity to the program or some prior successes or even just something that kind of fits your personality type, because there's a lot of good methods out there. But some of them, they just don't fit a certain person. Maybe they're a different type of person. Like there's a lot of people that like butterflies and daisies, and I just tell them straight out, like, that's not this program. We're not mean or anything like that, but this is not the butterfly and daisies and get something from nothing type outfit. There's quite a few outfits out there that are like, let's get something from doing nothing. And I'm super happy for those people. If they're able to get a lot of things from nothing, I'm super excited for them. I've never seen it work. I've never had it work. I've never seen anybody actually do that in real life or in a real situation. But that doesn't mean somebody isn't successful or doesn't work for somebody. And people like that, it's like, you should go do that. Like, go pick some daisies and get a bunch of stuff from nothing. And I'm totally ecstatic for you. But the folks that I ride with and like to encourage along are like the real life people, the DIYers, the ones that are realistic about their horsemanship and they ride in real situations. We're up here in the Northwest, and a lot of folks up here, they trail ride and they do big events and they do extreme things kind of with their horses. Not like they're all big old tough cowgirls and stuff like that, but like it's a little more real here than say, I don't know where, but maybe just say on the East Coast where there's maybe less trail riding and they're riding in smaller areas and smaller arenas and different things like that. Not that obviously the whole East Coast is like that, but we're up here, out in the Wild West and what used to be the Wild West. And so there's a little more things we got to deal with. Like some of my clients are in Alaska, and it's not uncommon for them to literally ride up on a grizzly bear, not just a little black bear in the bushes or something, like an actual grizzly bear or a moose or multiple moose or both, all the above. Uh, Backpackers and hikers and bikers and all the things that go on up in Alaska because people go up there for the big adventures. And if they're riding out there, they got to be around that stuff, and it's kind of legit. Okay. Like when I ask those people to pay attention, they sure pay attention because they've had some wrecks up there, prior to me being around. And man, it's real up there. So some folks down south, they're like, well, I had a rough ride. It's like, what happened? It's like, well, a squirrel jumped out, and he's really spooked my horse. And it's like, pretty tough. So, at any rate, um, we try to draw in people that are really wanting to get some stuff done, be realistic about things, and want to be motivated and aren't afraid of making mistakes. Like I see a lot of folks, they're like, they just kind of hide things, and they don't show the real stuff and all the things. And I feel like it's a little tough for people to learn. So I know when people come see me at clinics and stuff, I really try to show them like the full thing. I don't hide things from them. And yeah, I just show them like, look, this is how I'd fix this. He tried to kill you. We're going to show you how to fix that, or this one's actually being super nice. So you don't have to treat him like he tried to kill you. This is a different type of horse. Let me show you how we adjust the technique for this horse he's actually being pretty soft and really trying and wanting to be there for you. And then let's see if we can get this killer there too. If you're interested, I'm not saying people need to fix all the horses. We had somebody, I don't know, one of the posts that was like, basically like if you'd have just hung in there on this horse, he'd have been great. And this one lady's like, sometimes it's just not a good match. And I'm like, I totally agree with you. If you don't think you have what it takes, because a lot of people don't, then don't do it. Like, get you a better horse or a different horse. I'm not saying better, but what I was saying is like a lot of times the hard horses are the good horses in the long run. Now, I'm not saying good horses can't be easy too, but like the best horses I've ever had, they're all had little quirks in them or something that just didn't really sit well. They all, just about almost all of them did, because if they don't have any quirk to them at all, they probably don't have as much heart and desire and try for much. So they just kind of, you get them up to a point and they're pretty cool to be. They're safe and they're gentle, but they don't really like fire hard when you need them. If you needed that in the horse, a lot of folks don't need that, so it's not a big deal. They literally just want a Sunday afternoon horse, and that's totally fine too. So let me see who's on here and what's going on. I haven't checked the chat. Same. Let's see. Stephanie Dottie, trying to watch at the same time as doing a video call with future granddaughter. Ooh, well, good luck with that, Stephanie. I always enjoy watching you teach clinics. Wondering if you'll be at Equine Affair in Ohio this year. I will not, Hannah. Unless you call them and they call me. I normally don't call folks to do stuff, so sometimes expos will call. I've done a bunch over the years. Hello, Doreen from Pasco. Hello, Kathy Kaiser. John Day. Hello, Karen. Connecticut. Jazz from Oregon. Let's see. Jasmine. Hello, Steve from Michigan. Nice, Gail. Hey, cuz, Sean's on here. This makes me dizzy watching from this angle. Oh, man. Chatteroy, Lori moved up here. Greg's on here from New Mexico. Let's see. Lindsay's going to be on there tonight, probably. Face on Equine Masterclass. That's just about everybody on here. So, yeah, put some likes and hearts and stuff if you. Great ride on the horses this morning. Yeah, if you like these lives, just let us know. Put some comments in here and put some likes and all that stuff. And, if you're getting to this replay afterwards, you're like, man, I missed another. There is a way you can set your alerts. I think I don't know where it is on your Facebook or YouTube, but you can go up and like what I just tell people is like Google how to set a notification for the app you're in, if it's Facebook or Instagram or Google, whatever. And there's a little place you can go and just say, hey, I want alerts on this situation. That's assuming you do. If you don't, I totally understand. I'm just for the folks that are like, I didn't know and I want to know. It's like, well, set your alerts, because stuff like this, I don't typically announce. I just turn on when I can. Like I've been out in the office and I was out on skid steer today working and doing stuff. And I just finished up and it's like, got like 30 minutes to go before I got to do my other thing. So I just popped on here. So, anyway, if you're interested in this stuff, a lot of people aren't, honestly. Like, who wants to talk to a guy that's just sitting on a horse riding in a circle all night? Like, that's kind of boring. But that's also horsemanship. Like, what I'm working on with this guy tonight is just moving out. So, like, he could just be walking. It might be a little hard to see. I could just be letting him walk like this, just da 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 da, meander around. But what I'm having him do is, like, even though we're working on just kind of staying out ahead of my leg a little bit and moving forward at a steady pace, and then maybe I could relax and then just ride him a little bit slower. These are pretty basic things, but you'd be surprised how difficult this is for a lot of people. Uh, when they need it. Like trail riding, heading out on the trail, heading away from the barn, the horses are moving like this. Okay. And then heading home, the horses are here, and then heading, like here, kind of jigging or whatever, coming home. And it's totally different. But it's like, well, how are you riding, and what are you expecting from that ride? That's the big thing too. So even though I'm inside here, we'll work on some stuff, simple things here. I'm not just sitting on him, letting him wander around. I feel like there are certainly times where that type of thing is good. But for the most part, you want to be kind of dictating out ahead of this horse what you're wanting next a little bit. Like, are we going left? Or are we going right? Are we going at a walk or fast walk, a slow walk, a medium walk? Are we going to break into a trot here soon? That sort of thing. Are we gonna, when we do go, are we gonna go collected? Are we gonna go flat? Are we gonna go like a giraffe? Whatever you want to be, there's lots of options there, but you gotta kind of let these horses know what you want ahead of time, and then they can help you out. But well, I best get out of here. I got to get this horse put up and um, hop in there to the studio. We got to go do our Zoom here. So if you're in equine masterclass, we'll see, and you're on here. We'll see you over there at I guess 6 o'clock. And then if you want to be in on the action, don't be afraid. Just go over to equinemasterclass.com, get signed up. You can get a monthly membership for not much, and try it out for a while. And worst case scenario, you'll just come away with some good information and hopefully a couple problems solved. It's not much more than just a couple cups of Starbucks coffee anymore. Or I found out the other day, one tape measure. You could buy one tape measure, or you could get a membership. That's, the market value there. So, all right. Well, you guys have